Hi, this is Bree with your Town Tube, and I'm here with Ahmed.
Hey.
And Ahmed is here with me at StartupGrind, and I am just wondering, what are you doing to utilize AI these days?
So thanks a lot. Interestingly, I'm making a company which is going to be run by robots.
Okay.
Right? So it's an organization, a tech organization, that's going to basically use a whole lot of artificial intelligence components inside it and replicate what technical guys do in their day-to-day work. So I'm working with
what problem will your website solve for the average user?
So the biggest problem that I'm possibly targeting is the fact that technical talent is an extremely difficult resource to acquire. So using artificial intelligence, I'm consolidating the intelligence of technical guys into robots and let those bots act for the largest organizations in the world and operate. So I'm basically targeting a day-to-day operations, keep the lights on, keep your technical computer systems on without having to rely on tech guys.
That's awesome. I think it's a great goal. And on a more general sense, where do you see AI going for the average day-to-day user in the next 10 to 20 years?
I think reasonably speaking, I'm expecting AI to be an intelligence tool which will augment information availability. Humans will still take the call so that they can still control the end way it needs to be presented. But AI would give you the intelligence. If you had this much, you probably get this much. You can take smarter calls. That's where it is.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Ahmed, for being here and speaking with us today.
Absolute pleasure.
Looking forward to seeing your work.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Hi, this is Bree with your Town Tube, and I'm here with Wemble, who is currently creating his own company using AI, and we are at Startup AI. Tell me, Wemble, about your company and what is your objective in building this?
Yeah, so our company is named Ample AI, and our mission is really to build super optimized AI models for the edge device. The reason why I built it because I was AI engineer before in two companies, and I really deploy AI models, for example, for robots and for the food inspection machines. And as an engineer, I find it's really time consuming to make the AI models running and deploy that on the edge device. So usually it will take 1 to 3 months to make a very good model. So I feel like there are a lot of pain points, for engineers like me. So that's why we want to build this company. And I would say if we really look at the trend, like in AI side, for example, now a lot of people we are using ChatGPT, right? Do you use ChatGPT?
Yeah, all the time.
Yes, so ChatGPT everywhere. So we can definitely see the trend. Like we want to make us more productive in our work, in our everyday life, right? So, but you can really see these AI models now they are running on the cloud, which means there are some latency issues. For example, you need to wait for a few seconds to get a response from ChatGPT, right? But what if we just deploy this AI model on mobile phone, for example, or some tiny device? You can talk with it directly, and it will respond within milliseconds, right? So the user experience will really be better if we have this, small intelligent agent like just running on your small devices.
Yes, and do you find your model will be specific to the companies that you work with? Will you tailor them to specific companies, or will it be a model you can use broadly to deploy to many different companies' use?
Yes, I think right now our, because we are a small company, we have our focus.
We're startup, right?
Yeah, so I think initially we really targeted at some niche direction to make sure we build a small ecosystem there, and then we'll consider expand that into other domains. But for now, I would say like we definitely look at industrial IoT manufacturing domain, and we want to talk with more companies who, if you are interested in edge AI, talk with us.
Hi, this is Bree, and I'm here with your Town Tube and Tim. and Tim is going to tell us a little bit about open source AI. So what do you think is the biggest accomplishment with open source, and how do you see it shaping the future?
Well, I think the thing that open source brings besides quality software is bringing in more people to work on it. I think when software can be done by people everywhere, regardless of where they come from, you don't have to work at a big company, you don't have to come from a major university. You could just be someone at home on a random computer who's interested in learning how something works, contributing, maybe just a little documentation, maybe just finding, say, hey, something was spelled wrong. All those contributions matter. I mean, that's the great thing with open source, like here at the Meetup. It's a community of people working together to solve problems, make the world better. I think that's one of the unique things with open source.
Yeah, I love it. Where do you see open source impacting businesses? Specifically small businesses, and then opposite end, specifically large businesses as well.
Sure, it's already done that over the course of 20 or 30 years. During that time, networking, operating systems, databases, almost every major piece of software that's used by every size company is open source. I mean, there's some that isn't, but almost everything is open source, and that'll just continue. What's nice for the smaller companies, they could start off, they have just a little bit of knowledge, start with everything's free. And, they can learn, they can contribute. Even if you're a company of 2 people, you can contribute, learn, and expand. Like I work on the Milvis database. Anybody could use it. It could start off, you could be sitting at home with your laptop thinking of a company selling something cool, and you could just start off with simple open source and get up and running right away without having to worry about, am I going to have to pay someone some big license later, or am I only allowed to do these 3 things but I can't do 5 because I didn't pay a special license.
Yeah.
It's important.
I think it's already making an impact for sure, and I guess on the other end is, where do you see the potential of AI going? Do you see us going to space?
Oh, of course. I mean, AI plus people, plus a community of people working together in the open, with open data, open source, everyone collaborating, can bring anything forward. Improved engines for spacecrafts, improved ability to live in space, and not having to send people on dangerous missions until it's safe, by sending robots, by sending completely automated machinery where everything can operate on its own and make its own decisions intelligently and learn from its mistakes, so we don't have to learn by losing, heroes. You could have regular people going into space just doing regular jobs enhanced by robots and open source generative AI technologies.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Tim, for sharing with me today all about open source and Milvis. Thank you so much.
Your Town Tube is today's #1 all-local promotion, social media, and networking in the central New Jersey region. The most attractive, fastest, and most affordable ways to reach a huge local audience.